to Daily Life Connection. Thank you for joining me again today as we continue to explore the heart of God. We've been talking lately about the concept of God as light, that God, Jesus being the light of the world, that in the beginning God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. From Isaiah, arise, shine, for your light has come, or the dawn has come to you. And today I want to talk a little bit about the idea that God is the light in our darkness, but in a different perspective than we did the other day. I want to go back to Psalm chapter 23, and it says, "Even though I walk through the deep darkness, you are with me." I want to look at that from the concept of He as light is with us in the darkness. I think sometimes we have thought that it's like God is waiting for us at the end of the darkness to get ourselves through it. There are some dark times in my life or some dark places in my life that I'm working on, that I'm asking Him to help me with. But there's almost a feeling like He will wait for me at the end of that tunnel, at the end of that darkness. And, when I fight my way through it, when I prove myself worthy, or whatever that is, it's almost like He's waiting at the end of that tunnel to welcome me once I get myself straightened out and once I get myself through it. But that's not what Scripture says. It says that in those times when we are dealing with issues in our lives, when we're walking through the darkness of our own inner being, that He is in there with us. He is in that darkness with us. And in that darkness, it's His light that is with us. And I think that's just a wonderful concept of God not waiting for us to get through our lack of faith or our unbelief or our struggles with certain things. Sometimes I think we feel like God's waiting for us to get it all figured out. That, it's like, once you get this all figured out, then I'll really walk with you. But that's not what Scripture says. The light shines in the darkness, not at the end of it's not a light at the end of the tunnel. It's a light in the tunnel. That's a big difference, isn't it? If any of you have ever been in a tunnel, I remember way back many, many years ago now, and our family, my dad and mom and my sister and I traveled from the East Coast to the West Coast and back, and we stopped at the Lewis and Clark Caverns on the way back, and they took us down into those caverns, those caves, and then at one point they said, "We're going to shut the light out. And just understand, this will be a darkness like you have never experienced because there is absolutely no light in here." And they did that, and it was just amazing. I mean, you could hold your hand right up in front of your face. You could see nothing. It was a darkness you could almost feel. It just felt like it closed in around you. And at that point, I did not want to see light at the end of the tunnel. I wanted light in the tunnel. And then when they turned the lights back on, it was like, what a relief. And that's the way it is with our God. In the midst of our turmoil, in the midst of our fear, in the midst of our doubt, in the midst of the stuff that we go through, the anxiety in our lives, or the disappointments, or the discouragement, or the depression, the darkness of depression, it's not that God will wait at the end of all of that. It's not like He's a light at the end of the tunnel. If I could just get there, if I could just get there, then His light would be there. That's not the Scriptures. The Scripture tells us that He is with us in that depression. He's with us in, oh man, that's good, isn't it? It's Psalm 46. It says, God is a very present help in trouble. In the trouble. His light is with us in the darkness, in my discouragement, in my depression, in my anxiety, in my fear, in my unforgiveness, in my struggles that I'm going through at this moment. He is currently, presently with me, and He is with me as light. There is light in my darkness. That's good news today. I just hope that this encourages your heart like it does mine. He is with us. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not, cannot, and will not overcome it. Good news. We'll talk again tomorrow.